Like the wall of mirrors then.
Brilliant. Brilliant. What's going on, everyone? It's Mike back again. Shambolic starts.
And John.
What you say?
And John.
Did I miss you out?
Well, there's only fucking two of us, and you said it's Mike back again, so yes.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my bad. And John back again. Now we were doing, and we are doing a buy and no, not a buy, a sell or keep video and going through the Everton squad. And we like to do these every sort of 6 months because you sort of get a gauge with how well the players are doing. But it would be wrong not to mention the absolute farce that has been today in terms of our incredible football manager that we call Sean Dyche, because at 10 o'clock this morning it breaks on Sky and various media channels that the Freaking Group have been assessing Sean Dyche because of the performances and the worry around the direction of the club. So I'm not going to lie to you, I was expecting some conversation around, oh yeah, he's sacked, or he's got a game to prove himself, some form of leak. Nothing has come out. Sean Dyche is still the manager. He's still scheduled to do the press conference tomorrow for the Peterborough game, where he's going to answer questions that are going to be unfair, in my opinion, because he's going to be asked questions about his future. And he's going to have to sit there and answer them, which is, I think that's horrible, really. I mean, imagine knowing you're going to get sacked, but then being asked questions just before you get sacked about you getting sacked.
The thing is, though, Mike, when he comes out with that much shit, it probably won't bother him anyway, getting asked some questions like that, will it?
Brilliant. So, yeah, what's your take on today? Because if I'm being honest, mate, I think it's been a bit of a farce today.
I just think it's been a normal day in the life of an Everton fan and Everton Football Club, to be fair. Yeah, it did come out this morning, in my opinion. Listen, I think it's, for anyone who doesn't know, Sky Bet have stopped taking bets on Sean Dyche being sacked by Everton Football Club. They have suspended all bets. Now, for me, the news that come out this morning at 10 o'clock, I think it worked hand in hand with Sky Bet, and I think that's where they've got the story from. Because at the end of the day, Michael, we've said on here for a few weeks now that he's under pressure, and the Freakings must be looking at the situation. That's the only news that's come out. It's nothing new. It's nothing new what's come out this morning at 10 o'clock. And a lot of Everton fans got excited over that, you included, but I did say all day, look, I don't think he goes anywhere today, and I don't think he goes anywhere before the cup game on Thursday. Now, if that's a car crash, I think he will be relieved of his duties very, very quickly, as in Thursday night, as quick as that, before he gets down the tunnel, or Friday morning. Thursday's a massive game for Sean Dyche, and for me personally, I don't know what the Freakins are waiting for, because as I said on last night's video, for 6 months now, they've been on the outside looking in. They've been funding the club. They've been funding Bramley Moore. So they've obviously seen what's been going on the pitch. They've obviously been seeing that. How many games have we won in since the season started? You know, we've won 8 in 12 months. So they've seen what's going on. I don't really get what they're waiting for. And this is what I said to you today. It should have been one of their first jobs on their itinerary when they come in, to relieve the manager of his duties. And look, we've been linked with Graham Potter, or I think a lot of Everton fans have linked Graham Potter with the club, with the job. And I'll hold my hands up. I was one of them who said, I don't think Graham Potter will take the job in the short term. I think he'll want to come in. But yet now it looks like he's going to go to West Ham on a 6-month contract, which I'm shocked at, to be fair. But what I'm more shocked at is how quick West Ham have hit the panic button, getting rid of their manager, and they've got a manager ready and waiting to step in. And we're still talking about, when's the news going to come out that Everton have relieved Sean Dyche of his tenure, of his job. Something's got to give, and I do think it'll be Thursday night or Friday morning if the cup game's a shit show. But it just shows how quick clubs act. It looks like the sacking a manager and they've got someone waiting in the wings to come in, and we're still stuck with this manager. It is a farce. I think a lot of people have read into too much today, in my opinion. There was a few rumours going around Twitter that he had been sacked. He hasn't, and I don't think he's sacked before the cup game.
And that just bursts my bubble, John, if I'm being honest, because I must say, when that news come out, I thought an hour later it's going to have Sean Dyche has been relieved of his duties across the yellow bar at the bottom, and I was thinking, happy days. But that
don't get me wrong. When the media get hold of a story, it's very, very rare there's no smoke without fire. So something's going on, and I just think the Freakins are looking to Thursday. Listen, Millsy messaged me today, and I said to him, what you think and stuff like that. And he still thinks if Everton scrape through 1-0 with a poor performance, he still could get sacked after that, even if we go through. If it goes to penalties, the crowd will turn on the players, on the manager. The Freakins are going to have some representation there on Thursday. I'd like to think so anyway. So we need to make it vocal, and we need to make our feelings known in front of the Freaking group, if they don't already, that we want this manager out of our club.
Just talking about where we are. We were talking about managers, me and you, and different managers have been linked. Schmidt's been linked. I personally think it's a bit of a gamble getting managers from abroad in a relegation battle. It's just my opinion. People can disagree with that, and they're fine to disagree with that. When you see the job that Victor Pierre's doing at Wolves, it's fine. I get it, not an issue. But we've also seen Southampton sign foreign managers and it go wrong. We've seen Leicester sign foreign managers and it's gone wrong. And I don't think any Everton are any better than those two clubs. So, that's my worry.
I think it's dangerous if you start looking abroad and bringing a manager in.
It's managers that have Premier League experience for me. So yeah. If you were sitting there going, "Oh, Mike, Jose Mourinho's coming in," I'm not as worried about a Jose as I am someone that's never managed in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, and I don't think Everton are in the position to look abroad at the minute. I think it's got to be someone closer to home. We got sent something today on our group chat on one of the betting sites that Steve Cooper's the favourite. Now, I'm not being funny, mate. I think I'd rather keep Sean Dyche. In all fairness. That is out the fire. What is it? Out the chip pan into the fire, or whatever the saying is. I mean, that links. I mean, there was a list posted in our group before of a list of managers who were linked with the job and their odds. Steve Cooper's something like 4th or 5th favourite. Now, I'm not being funny. I've won more trophies managing one game since 1995 than Everton have. So if Steve Cooper's in that betting, where the fuck's my name?
Oh, dear.
But there were some good names in the list, don't get me wrong. A lot of them probably wouldn't touch Everton with a barge pole, and some of them we shouldn't really touch, again, because a lot of them are foreigners, and you're quite right with what you say. It's a big gamble for Everton to look abroad and bring someone in with no Premier League experience with 18, 19 games to go, is it, in the Premier League? I just think that would be a massive boo-boo. I think we've got to look closer to home. Someone who's managed in the Premier League, someone English who knows the Premier League. We're not ready. We're not safe enough to be bringing a manager in from abroad just yet.
Was you going to mention a name then? Did I sense you saying a name?
No. I wasn't going to say Big Sam. No. And people think he's paid me. No, I wasn't. I just listen. I think David Moyes is the safest bet we could go for.
So, mate, so do I. And do you know where people say, "Oh, I only want to give him a 6-month contract," or he'll probably want 18 months.
I'm not being funny. All well and good then. If that's what you want to do, Graham Potter's took it. So who's to say David Moyes won't?
Mate, to be honest, for me, if David Moyes wants an 18-month contract, I don't think I'm too arsed about that either. And the reason is, and I know people hate this, but David Moyes managed to build an Everton team that went into Europe. He built a West Ham team that won in Europe. I'm not sitting here saying David Moyes is the future of Everton. I'm not saying that. But he definitely is a manager that can put us on a stable footing for the next level.
You hit the nail on the head last night when we were talking about David Moyes, and he was at Man United and he wasn't left to do his job. And when you look at Everton, where we were on a shoestring budget, and as you quite rightly say, you brought players like Pienaar in, and Leighton Baines, Marouane Fellaini was another one. We had Lukaku at the time, was it?
No, that was Martinez.
Sorry, but it was a shoestring budget. I think we brought Phil Neville in from Man United for next to nothing. For the position Everton are in, with the financial position Everton are in, and the position we're in the league, David Moyes fits the bill for me. He'll be allowed to do his job, as you quite rightly pointed out last night. If he's there longer than the 6 months, his scouting networks always work well for him, whether it was at Everton or whether it was at West Ham, where he was allowed to do his job. That's what we need to do. You look at Farhad Moshiri, when he had the club, he didn't allow the managers to do their job. He was too involved in the day-to-day running of the club on the football side of it. He shouldn't have touched the football side of it. He brought Marcel Brands in, he brought Steve Walsh in, and Marcel Brands, in my opinion, will write a book on Everton Football Club in years to come of how shit it was run and how he wasn't allowed to make the right footballing decisions because people upstairs got too involved in the running of the football side of it. That's what David Moyes, hopefully under the Freakins, if he comes in, I think will be allowed to do. And if you allow David Moyes to do that, then he's the safest bet and he's the safest pair of hands to come into Everton Football Club on an 18-month contract for the position we're in.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, John. Couldn't agree more. I'd offer him the job tomorrow, to be honest.
I would.
Should we get into the players? Because this video is all about the players. And the first 19 games, I think it is, of this season, how well they've done and how many of them we would want to keep going forward. Now, remember, look, we're only saying sell or keep.
Won't take long.
Yeah, I mean, you've got to remember, we're not looking at contract lengths. We're not looking at, people moving in the summer, whatever. We're just looking at whether we would keep or sell. That's it. Nothing, in the comments, if John decides that he wants to sell Jordan Pickford, Jared Branthwaite, and whoever else, it doesn't matter because there'll be some reason behind it and you don't have to agree with it. So, John.
Go on.
Number 1, Jordan Pickford.
I love every season, every video we do, you ask me.
Come on, well, you asked me. You got the squad in front of you.
You started, you probably got the squad in front of you and I haven't come prepared.
I've got the squad in front of me.
Exactly, well, I haven't, right, because I'm on my phone. Right, Jordan Pickford, sell. Without Jordan Pickford, mate, we'd probably be in the Championship now.
Did you just say sell him?
No, keep him, because if without Jordan Pickford, we would be in the Championship.
You definitely said sell.
Well, I meant keep. I meant fucking keep.
Okay, so we're keeping Jordan Pickford. I agree. Yeah. And without him, we'd be League One football by now. João Virginia.
What I've seen of João, I think he hasn't let the team down when he's played, when he's been called upon. Jordan very rarely is injured, but in the cup games that he's played, he hasn't really let us down. Probably keep him as a number 2. If he's happy to stay as a number 2, we keep him. Listen, there's places in the team and the squad that need filling before a backup goalkeeper.
Yeah. Asmir Begovic.
I think he'll go anyway.
Yeah. Okay. Defenders. Now, this is where you are going to have a field day, my friend. Number 2, Nathan Patterson.
Sell.
How come?
I just don't think he's Premier League standard. I just think he's shit. I think he's come from a farmers league from Scotland. I think he's at the best a mid-championship team player. Don't think he's good enough. And I know people will go, well, how can you say that? We haven't seen enough of him. I've seen enough of him to realise he's not good enough.
Okay. I don't necessarily disagree, but I'd only sell him if I knew that a replacement was coming in. Because my concern is, in terms of right backs, we've needed a proper right back for 10 years.
Well, there's going to be replacements coming in. Well, there's going to be replacements coming in anyway, because I'm sure we're going to get on to Cole and Young, and their contracts are up. So that only leaves us really with Nathan Patterson. So there's going to be right backs coming in anyway. And I think the right back that we do bring in will be better than Nathan Patterson.
Okay.
And that man is Sidibe.
Yeah. Fucking hell. Michael Keane.
Sell him as a defender, keep him as a centre forward. Again, it's squad size. He gives us all. He's been there long enough now, and he's been in and out the team. He's never really cemented a place in the last couple of seasons anyway, especially where you could say one of the first names on the team sheet, even when he hasn't been injured. I think it's time to move on from the likes of your Michael Keanes. Now there's money to spend in the summer. Replace him.
James Tarkowski.
I'd keep him for one more season.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that. Jake O'Brien.
Well, we can't really pass comment on him because we haven't really seen him, have we? I'd like to think of when a new manager comes in, not if, but when he'll give him a chance. I think we see Jake O'Brien on Thursday in the cup game. We can't make opinion of him. We can't make a decision on him on here because we haven't seen enough of him. If you're asking me, does he stay or does he go? I think he's got to stay.
So, you've just made a point now. You've just said you think we'll see him on Thursday in the cup game. Sean Dyche thinks that is his last game potentially, and he's got to smash him. Do you think he's going to put in the centre half that he doesn't trust? Because he clearly doesn't trust him. He ain't played him.
Yeah, but the thing is, if Sean Dyche knows it's his last game, he won't give a shit anyway. So he'll probably put Ashley Young up front and Dominic Calvert-Lewin at left back. He's not going to be arsed, is he? So I do think we see Jake O'Brien on Thursday, yeah.
Okay. Ashley Young?
I can't sit here and slag him off because I think he definitely hasn't been one of the worst this season. He hasn't got age on his side, and it's the same position I'm going with Seamus Coleman, really, that we need to move on. We need to move on.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Have you spoke about Seamus Coleman? No. My thoughts will be the same on Coleman, what they are for Young, but I'd like to see Coleman retained on the backroom staff.
Okay. So let's move on to Seamus Coleman.
What I've just said. But to be fair, I think when he's fit, he's probably the best right back we've got at the club still. So what you do?
Mate, I thought he was brilliant against Man City.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's all. Listen, injuries are catching up with him now because we've seen a boss performance against City, and now he's injured again. So they are catching up with him. Age is catching up with him. But I do think he deserves to be kept on at Everton in some way, shape or form on the backroom staff. Because I think he deserves it, Michael. He's give Everton some service. He's been fantastic. His kids are Everton fans. He's become an Everton fan. He loves the city. I think he deserves to be retained in some capacity, mate.
Yeah. I agree. Vitaly Mykolenko.
On the form this season, shocking. I would Another one who's out of contract at the end of the season. There is talk, is in talks for a contract being offered to him. I think he's out of contract or a contract extension, whatever it is. I think Everton are covering their bases there because we probably will get a bit of money for him. Don't want to lose him for nothing. Last season's form, I think he was one of the most improved players under Sean Dyche when Sean Dyche first came in. This season, he's been absolutely woeful. So if you're asking me on this season's form, see you, mate.
Jared Bradford.
Love him to stay. Future England captain. Leader on the pitch. If he stays at Everton, he will be future Everton captain. I think it'll be taken out of our hands, and I do think he moves on, but I'd like to keep him.
Yeah. Chelsea have been linked with Mark Daly. If they can't get him, do you think they could move for Brentford?
Yeah, I also think Man City could come in for Brentford.
Yeah.
I know Liverpool was strongly linked with him last summer. The deal didn't happen. Liverpool were really interested in Jared Brantwaite. Possibly they come in for him, depends on what happens with Virgil van Dijk with his contract situation. But I do think Man City, someone like Man City, it happened with John Stones, didn't it? John Stones and Man City come in for him. I think you're probably going to find it'll be the same situation with Jared Brantwaite.
Okay. Moving on to midfielders. This one is on loan at Everton. He's in at Everton on loan. So it's really if you want to keep him or sort of send him back to his parent club. But Ariel Mangala.
Keep him. If we can get him, we might have to try and get him on in January so it frees up a loan space. I think Leon have got quite a few financial problems, so Everton could hopefully some sort of deal for him. But from what I've seen at the club since he's been on loan, I have no problem signing him full time.
Yeah, no man. Abdoulaye Doucouré.
Let him go. Sell him. See ya. Look, shut the door on your way out, mate.
Ghana guy.
Again, he hasn't been our worst midfielder this season. He still does give us all. And I know I said before about moving on from Ashley Young and players like that. I'd be tempted to give Ghana guy another year, only for the simple fact a bit of experience in the midfield.
But he also, in my opinion, doesn't play like a 35-year-old or whatever he is.
No.
He doesn't play like that at all. He's still nimble.
And Golo Kanté with the same sort of player. He kept going for a long time, you know what I mean? And obviously, if you're going to lose Doucouré and Jimmy Garner's back in the team and Mangala's there, they're not... Jimmy Garner's been in the Premier League for quite a while, but they're not old. I think Ghana guy brings that experience in there, and I would keep Ghana guy. I'd give him another 12 months.
Yeah. James Garner?
When he's fit. I think people know my thoughts on here about James Garner.
You don't rate him as highly as I do, do you?
No, not as highly as you do. I think there's a player there, and I've seen him have some good games for Everton. I just think from what I have seen, I think he's capable of more. So there is a player in there. So if that's the case, then I do keep on hoping I see that player next season.
Another manager might get it out of him potentially.
Yeah. Well, another manager will probably get 10-15% out of every one of these players, Mike.
Tim Iroegbunam.
Again, when we've seen him, I think he's put a shift in. I think he's done well. He's got legs, hasn't he? Do you know what I mean? And he does cover a lot of grass and he covers a lot of area around the centre of the park. I'd have no problem keeping him. I think he's the sort of player we're going to need and to break play up and stuff like that. Especially, Doucouré doesn't do it very often, but if you're losing a player like that, I have no problem with Tim staying.
Do you know, I actually think we've missed Tim. Because I know in the first 4 games of this season... Say again?
Is he injured?
Yeah.
What is it?
I don't know, but he's injured long term. I think we've missed him because the first 4 games of the season, or 5 games, He started most of them. However, it's his ability to, he's so mobile. He can pick up the ball, he can carry it, he can beat people. He's not scared to shoot from range. He's got that turn of pace. I personally really, really liked him, and he's the player that, for me, he'd be playing in front of Decore. He'd be playing in that role, carrying the ball. He'd be there breaking the lines. He'd be there causing more problems. And he's actually a player that I think would be able to, NGI has got such a big job having to carry the ball from defence to attack. It would be so much easier if there was a midfielder that could do it as well. Because there isn't, Decore can't do it. Yeah, we just lack that. Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
Moving on to forwards now, or what is deemed forwards. Dwight McNeil.
It's a tough one. So, I think he can be one of our creative midfielders, can't he? Or forwards, wherever he plays, and do you know what I mean? But he lacks pace to play on that wing. And listen, we've seen Dwight McNeil playing the number 10 a couple of times this season. I think he's done okay. I don't think he's done enough. If Everton want to move on and progress, Dwight McNeil's probably another one who wouldn't bother me if he stayed or he went, to be fair.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. I personally would keep him until there was a better option. So, just like you, really.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree. I think we miss him when he's not there, but
we do
not on the wing, because I don't think he offers enough on the wing. But again, I think he played in the number 10 when we played Villa away, and I thought he had a good game there. I think he shows more in that number 10 than what he does on the wing. But then if he plays on the wing, it frees and die up to play in the middle. So again, I'm on the fence. I will be honest. I'm on the fence with Dwight McNeil. There's worse players at the club. But I think he's easily replaced, if I put it that way.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Dominic Calvert-Lewin.
Sell, mate.
Oh, God.
Sell. Just sell. Just go. Just walk. Just. What's your opinion?
Yeah, he's got to go.
See, you thought about that then?
It's only because there's no Beto. Because it looks like he's gone. I mean, he might. I mean, he's not even going to be in this video. I mean, he's up to it now, or he's going. So there's no Calvert-Lewin.
He's easily replaced, Michael. He's poor, and I know people are going to carry on saying, "Well, he's starved of service." I don't see enough when he's starved of service.
I'd just like to see him under a different manager.
Michael, how many managers has he had? You're saying that, and he played under Carlo, and he had half of a good season. That was it. Scored something like 28 goals or something in 8 years. Fucking hell.
I don't know. Maybe it's the fact that he's been here. So I don't know. I don't know, John. I don't know. But I would sell him.
I'm selling. Fucking hell. Well, he's going to go for nothing by the looks of it.
Lilliman and Jai.
Keep. No, mate. Got to keep. He's probably one of the saleable assets to go with Pickford and Branthwaite, the only 3 we've got.
Jack Harrison?
Oh, I'll drive him back to Leeds. 24-month contract. But then in Jack's defence, and we'll reiterate again, played on the left for Leeds, and he's never been played on the left by this manager. So have we seen the best of Jack Harrison? Probably not, because he hasn't played in his proper position. But I just don't think he'd be good enough even on the left for me to say keep.
Yeah. Better, but it does look like he's gone.
Yeah, mate, I'm not being funny. If I had the choice, I'd send Calvert-Lewin out before Beto.
Yeah. Youssef Chermiti?
Keep. He had a great pre-season, Chermiti. He had a good pre-season. Probably one of our most productive players in pre-season, where we could go, do you know what? He might have a good season coming up, and then he got the injury.
Yeah. Brozier?
Too injury prone for me, mate. I'm not being funny. Any player that gets injured by booting the turf when he's trying to take a shot, your days at Everton are just going to be bad luck, aren't they? We've seen it before.
He reminds me of that Lucina Traore. Do you remember him?
Mate, yeah, he's massive in money.
Yeah. He scored a goal on his debut after 5 minutes of back heel, and then we never saw him again.
No, and I think, listen, I don't know what the injury is to Brozier. We haven't heard, but you know, if he does make it and he's fit for Thursday with a bit of luck, then throw him in, start him up front instead of Calvert-Lewin. See what he can do. Haven't seen enough of him to make a decision on him. I think his buy fee though is something like 30 million quid or something, isn't it? It's going to cost us 30 million. I think we could spend £30 million better with the position we're in than spending it on him. But then on the flip side, we spent £30 million on Beto. So,
Jesper Lindstrom.
Let him go back, mate. It's not good enough for the Premier League. Too weak for me. Gets pushed off the ball too easy. Not good enough.
Okay. Some of our loan players that we've loaned out. So we got the two young goalkeepers, Harry Tyra. Every time I saw Harry, I thought he's looked a decent keeper, so I'd keep him.
I don't think he's going to get a chance at Everton. I think he'll go anyway in the summer.
Billy Krellin. I don't know much about him.
I don't.
I've seen him before. He's all right.
Okay. Mason Holgate.
Don't even give him a place in the changes, mate. Don't even let him back on the car park at Finch Farm. Where is he?
West Brom.
Is he doing anything?
He's playing, I think. And then last, certainly the best one out of the bunch, Neil Maupay.
Oh, mate, what a rat. What a rat. You know, Everton is still paying a portion of his wages, and he puts on social media, if you're having a bad day, just look for Everton score. I mean, I'm not being funny, mate. If I was in charge of Everton Football Club, I'd be docking him wages for that, and I'd be saying, do you know what? Your Everton contract's ripped up. Do what you want, because you're not welcome back here. He has so many digs at Everton, mate. He thinks he's something and he's shit. His mouth is better than his feet, mate. I'm telling you now, shouldn't be anywhere near the club, never to be allowed in Finch Farm again.
Well, I'm glad we agree on him then. And that's that, really. I mean, we've sold we've sold more than half the squad.
Got on 4 players going into Bramley Moor.
The problem is, though, there's 14 of them players that we've just mentioned aren't going to be in the team next year unless they have new deals or they're signed permanently. 14 of them. I mean, it really is a rebuild, and in the summer. Massive.
And listen, I don't think it's. I think we're going to have a small squad. I think what you'll find in the summer, I think obviously we're going to try and bring a lot more quality in than what we've got. I think that, you know, that goes without saying. We've got 12 players out of contract and a couple of players who are on loan who we don't see coming back and further in the career with us. So you're looking at 14, 15 players. That's a massive chunk of your squad gone. Now, Everton, realistically, probably need to bring about 10, 12 players. We need to do Notts Forest in the summer, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And unfortunately, we can't spend much in the January transfer window, so that's going to be loan deals unless we tie Mangala down and go and get another loan, or, you know, God forbid we sell one of our saleable assets in the January transfer window. It's a tough month, January, to do any sort of big deals. Clubs don't want to lose their better players in January. So it will be loan deals. It will be squad players if Everton do bring anyone in. I think you'll probably find a centre forward comes in. I think we'll bring a winger in as well, possibly 2 loans. The summer where we can spend money is massive. But make no bones about it, we're going to have to be careful how we spend that money because of the amount of players that we've got to bring in.
Yeah. We'll see. Right. Well, John, I've got nothing else to add unless you have, mate.
No, all it is a match preview tomorrow for the cup game on Thursday. Anything else that comes out regarding our lovable manager, Mr. Sean Dyche, we'll be straight on here. Any transfer news, we will be also doing a video on that. But if not, we will be back tomorrow.
That's it. There you go. What an outro you needed to do.
What?
What you saying?
Just going to say, don't forget to hit the like and the subscribe. The channel's been fine. The last 2 videos have smashed it. The channel, we are, as Michael said the other day, we are trying to do at least 5 videos a week. You know, updates, transfers, manager updates, if there's any of them, match previews, match reactions, debriefs. So possibly in January, you could get 6 videos a week. We are trying to do as much as we can, stay in the loop. And now Michael's back off another holiday. His next one's not till April. So you will be seeing a lot more of them.
Brilliant. Right. Bye.